So I'm talking today about the chess world, the recent passing of Daniel Naroditsky and how much that has affected the community, and my history with chess and what I'm posing as the third way, along with our coaching, and just a range of topics in that area. So you'll see, and it's kind of a different approach. It's not, based on my unique experience, what I've developed. It's not something you're going to hear elsewhere for the most part. And first, I want to acknowledge the sorrow, real sense of loss that so many in the chess community have seen, have felt, the passing of what people belovedly call Danya. I didn't know him personally. I don't want to speak at great length about in terms of personal feelings about it, and I have a lot of respect for the community and how many people have been touched, both in terms of public figures and seemingly as it extends to the community at large, how many have been touched by his passing. So, for all of us, we join, vast majority and say, rest in peace, Danya, and let this loss not be in vain, as some of us say at times. I also hear and understand the kind of bitterness or, justice, bitter rage, towards Grandmaster Kramnik. And, that's a part of it too. I don't want to delve into that too much, other than to say, that's a legal type of situations. Things don't move quickly. There'll be something to be said for, if there's anything to be said, it would be said on both sides. So, but I want to say I understand those sentiments. And for my part, I really move towards a third area, which is in terms of acknowledging the sorrow, recognizing the anger. And my concern is sincerely, is beyond that. It's kind of the community at large. Okay. And generally in life, how I kind of create a third way, but it's care. And it's saying like, okay, if Danya felt that way, how many other people feel that way? And now there are millions and millions gravitating in part of the chess community. So my interest and my, words today, my reflections today are geared towards that community, both, and I will eventually get to the leadership of the community and to the community at large. So when I say a third way, what generally I'm saying is that usually, most of us are in kind of, we're societally trained in terms of, two ways. You either get angry, you let it go, you just, we don't kind of find that third way. And that's kind of where this area of concern comes, that there's a middle path. And that's a hard path to find. And, it's something that, rather than just reacting to situations, we go deeper and we respond. So you may wonder, why am I so interested in the chess community? Because most of my work is general genius coaching and a broader societal implication. But there's a huge chess audience, so why am I interested in chess? Well, let me tell you about my personal chess history. It actually started probably around age 6 when there actually were chess sets with square pieces that were not like 3-dimensional. They were just 2-dimensional, flat on a cardboard board, a picture of a knight, a picture of a rook. And my father at that point, at around age 6, taught me the game. They sent me on a bus from Scranton to New York City when I was, they were under something called under 13 novice tournaments. And some may have heard of legendary, Bill Goichberg, who had these massive events at things called the place called the McAlpin Hotel McAlpin, and I eventually won the under 13. Then and there were a lot of grandmasters and high school stars. Larry Christensen was a high school player then, famous guy, Peter Winston, New York chess, and all those guys kind of came through the hotel McAlpin. Anyway, I didn't play for a while, and then I arrived in the early 80s, arrived in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right? Harvard Square. And there was a guy there, the late Murray Turnbull, who's a master who'd play games, like they do in Washington Square Park, maybe a slightly different, a different style. And this was before even Oban Pan put in, cemented chess tables. And I organized the first, 12-person tournament. We were sitting on the cement ground there. And or plaza. And over the course of time, I started getting bigger, organizing bigger and bigger tournaments. I had Massachusetts' first international round robin for a friend, Charlie Hurtan, who was going for an IM norm. And I got Bill Walton of the Celtics in '86 to play an exhibition match. And then eventually got the 1988 US Open to come to Boston. And that's the kind of point where I veered away from chess for a while, organizing when I got into elected office and things. So the point I'm making, I have I have a profound background in chess myself, and like many, I've seen to the community now, it can be a part of your life, as a lifelong experience. And when I see now, like how much I've changed, from over the board to all online, the communities, I see, clearly there's a lot of great things that have occurred chess-wise. And I'm also seeing kind of, the negativity that comes in the chats and the condescension and this kind of thing. And this is, and I'm speaking, I'm not trying to, obfuscate, the leaders of the chess community. I see the chess community today, I say, and I really give a lot of applause to the leaders, those who have developed it, and clearly there's this enormous interest in the game itself. And I'm also saying, but again, I come back to, Danya's loss, and just what I've seen over the years, kind of some of the negativity, how people are coming at each other. And, I'm concerned for young people. A lot of my life, or previous life, was in coaching, helping young people develop skills, and now Gentle Genius Coaching. It's really to bring things to a better level, or helping people find that better way, as I say, or the third way, but to really assert yourself positively. And when I see some of the, the cesspool of commentary online and this kind of thing, it can get negative, and I don't think most people want that. And I think there is a better way. So one thing, again, in the heels and the loss of, in Danya's death, I do call for lovingly, I call forth the leaders of the chess community, be it Danny Wrenches, Hikaru, Botez, Gotham Chess, all, Dina, all these people, Chess-Based India doing a terrific job. All these people are doing a great job, and I'm not, standing in the way of that. But I'm asking people to consider, the emotional health and the emotional development of the community themselves. And and while I'm sure there are people who sit and say, well, we've got hundreds of millions now in chess.com, this kind of thing, we could get 1 billion or whatever. I get that, but economic growth is great. And I'm saying also consider the quality, the emotional growth, the emotional well-being of the community itself. That's got to occur. And in terms of, what I bring to the table, Gentle Genius is a psychology I've developed. And it really emanates from the sense that by developing our goodness, right? Not by falling into the negativity of today. And I got a 30-year story. I know Danny Wrench has a story, which is quite a thing. He's written a book, and I have a story of over the course of 30 years of developing this psychology of goodness is strength, of a better way, of Gentle Genius Coaching. And it's really about our goodness is our strength, and helping people forge their purpose, okay? Because when you have purpose in life, the psychology of the days really is, chaotic. It comes at you, and you've got to develop. Purpose allows you to navigate and to go through the negativity as need be. And that's what, I think that, I'd like to see, the possibility that Gentle Genius will align with the chess community and really helping people elevate the game a bit. But it's not in any way to undermine what other people have done, because they've provided this fulcrum. And I'm saying that if you've got millions, tens of millions of people involved, and they're young people, and we see the distress that people can be in these days, then I believe there's also a responsibility to kind of build that positive environment. And also, I think that chess, that's really the growth area, is to build, positive citizens, positive human beings out of this situation. That's where chess can enter, not just like, well, it helps us with our arithmetic and this, but it can, if it's done right, I see a vast area where chess can help build character and true societal influence, not just chess games, which are great and Closing, I think there is a better way. There's another level upward that the chess community can take out of this. Because in Gentle Genius, it's like challenge equals opportunity. So this is a challenging moment. And I do, urge the chess community, the leadership of it, to consider ways, the emotional well-being of its clientele, and also ways to build in this purpose, and how chess can not only be a game, it can be a game and, influence the purpose of society and encourage young people to, to gain their purpose. And, because I say, well, the last thing I'll say in terms of Gentle Genius and the work I do is that one of the underpinnings of Gentle Genius is that it's about getting your success. I'm not trying to eliminate anyone's success. It's to get your success and heal society too. So it's got to be both parts. There's got to be, strive for your success and leave enough energy so that we're bringing a collective, we're bringing positive energy into the situation. So that's a lot there. I do have a website, theworldsgenius.com. You could take a look at, but that's my encouragement for the chess community, to consider these things and not just to get stuck in animosity. Yes, appropriately grieve, and then find constructive ways to build a better way out of this situation.